LaChiMoLaLa.
Yay!
And we are here to talk about Run BTS episode 147.
Yes.
This is the epic conclusion
Dun, dun,
of
dun.
this round of finding the army headstone in ancient times. Ooh. So we had 2 episodes. All the members have a job. All the members have a personal mission. There's group clues, there's personal clues, there's alliances, there's suspicion. And now they finally get a chance to come together and debate about who's the spy, how many spies there are, and why Taehan keeps playing with a cat. I don't know. So all of this and more in this episode.
Yes. Oh man. So I'm gonna start this off saying I really suck at these type of games because I totally sucked you in with me with Jimin. At least I had some sort of logic as to why I picked Jimin this whole entire time, but I was really, really wrong.
It wasn't your fault though. He was so suspicious. Everything he did was suspicious.
Oh no, like even until the very end when they were all discussing, not like RM gave his like whole spiel about who are the spies. And this guy, Jimin, he's like, I'm not the spy. And that's how he opened everything up. We're okay. How can you not think that he's a spy after saying I'm not a spy? You know,
that's exactly what a spy would say.
Yes, exactly. Denial. But you know, he was not a spy.
Yeah. Even J-Hope, who'd been working with him the whole time, was like, wait, I think maybe he's a spy.
Yeah. I'm like, oh man. But I was completely wrong because I said Jimin. I said RM. The only person that I was right was my third person, which technically there are only 2. So really, I get a 0%. But I did suspect Suga too. And my fourth person would have been Jin. But there's only 2.
I loved how heated the debate was, and it went on for so long and was so involved, and there were so many questions that they literally made an entire 3rd episode just about them deciding who to vote for.
It was great because Suga he's not that animated, and to see him like that, hilarious, you know, like
he should make a silent movie. I felt like he said more when he couldn't talk than he does normally.
Yeah, exactly. And just like his body language, it's like he got up, walked up like this, and then got back down and like started squirming again. And I was like, what is this fool doing?
What were they calling him? Like the walking emoji or something?
Yeah, like human emoji, I think was the translation, you know?
And he wasn't supposed to be doing anything. He wasn't supposed to be contributing, but he was. Very much so.
Yeah. And you know what? It's kind of hilarious because like he even like every single person pretty much picked him, and he was straight denial, you know, being the good spy that he is, or attempting to be the good spy that he is. And it was so funny that one scene where he's like, apologize to me, apologize, you know?
Yes, well, I love the fact that he said that they'd made him change into those clothes, that he'd changed.
Yeah.
And like, look, my pants are black. Like, I was originally in all black. And honestly, I had a moment and I thought it was him the whole time. And I was like, is that true? Did they make him change into that? Like,
yeah, that's pretty. Yeah. And then Arm's like, are you lying? You know? You know, like getting caught in a lie or something like that. Something about lying. So
yeah. But I agree with you. The way he just denied, it seemed so plausible because he did it so carelessly. He was just like, no, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
And you were like, okay, it seemed reasonable. It seemed very reasonable.
Yeah. and Jin wasn't too much like of a shocker, you know, because I think both of us kind of, we had our suspicions like about him too. And so
he was really bad with his personal mission, so that was suspicious. I
Yeah.
don't even know what Suga's personal mission was. Do you? He didn't do anything.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah.
what his mission was. I really don't.
Yeah.
But for Jin, like he he actually did I don't know, he threw the guys off pretty good though. Like
Really good.
during the clues, like one in the trash can, throwing Jimin's flowers to the rooftop. And he totally had a lot of fun doing it too, you know? So, but the initial giveaway, I guess, would be like the first episode when they were interviewing, right? Like he kind of gave like, oh, well, you know?
Why me?
Yeah, yeah, you know? So it's kind of like that little hunch already, you know, that like, oh, okay, well, maybe he's one of the spies, you know? Because like if you're a citizen, I guess like would you be bored being a citizen, you know, as opposed to a spy? Because
Yeah.
like for a spy, you got to be like, if someone's on to you, you got to be like on top of them, you know, and think 10 steps ahead.
I thought it was really clever when they showed how he hid one of the clues in his cell phone case.
Oh, yes.
I thought that was actually really, really smart. And he knew they were going to search him, but he didn't know they were going to search him that soon. And then you see him holding it, and then he's like all stressed out afterwards. Like, you know, it's like he got pulled over by the cops. I mean, he was just like, oh my gosh, I should have hidden that better. But he hid it so well. I was impressed, really.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he did a good job laying low. Like while Suga was just defending himself, he was just saying nothing. So people weren't really thinking about him for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. And poor JK. Oh my gosh. Poor
They
guy.
managed to convince him he was a spy.
Yeah,
I
that
knew
was
he wasn't. And he was like, am I? Is it me? It's like, how do you not know?
raise your hand. He's like, what? But you didn't tell me.
Yeah, he's like, well, why didn't anyone tell me I'm a spy? Poor JK.
Oh,
Poor JK.
JK. Yeah, but he got duped, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was funny. And then I loved how the other spies, they made up some of those clues, right? So that clue about it's someone who's very shy in real life, that wasn't a real clue, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
that I thought was really clever.
mhm.
And I loved how he kept being like, I used to be so shy. I'm not shy anymore. I haven't been shy for like 3 years. Like,
Yeah.
so adorable.
Yeah.
It was so cute how he was just like, no, guys, that's not me anymore. That's not me.
Oh, yeah. And every single and you know, but JK's so good at being a spy, right? And so
Yeah.
like every single time like I hear him talk and then like he has like this straight face sometimes and this kind of like smile, like this poker face that he always gives. And I'm like, I don't know, you could be a spy with that face, you know, like that poker face. He's so good at it, you know?
Well, I feel like some people, you know, they have a resting bitch face, but he naturally has kind of a smile all the time.
Yeah.
So even if he's denying something, the corners of his mouth are still turned up. So he still looks like he's about to laugh at any moment. So you're just not sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I loved how even he could be convinced. He's like, maybe it is me. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I didn't understand.
Oh man, that was really funny. And then like I like the part when they kept switching back and forth to like RM, J-Hope, and Jimin. All three of them couldn't decide. They're like, JK, come over here. Oh no.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and they're like, maybe it's V. You know, come over here.
Well, I feel like that because they were so convinced there was 3 spies, that made it so much harder because they really just didn't know because they felt like it hinged on that one thing. If they had known there were only 2 spies, I feel like they would have felt it would have been easier to choose.
Yeah.
I also thought that J-Hope was like really killing it. All these episodes, he was like putting clues together. He was figuring things out. When he called Jin out about having glasses, like being like, that's not period. So you're the spy. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was a great observation. And then I love that Jin had to be like, production asked me to take these off and I refused. And I was like, there goes Jin, like, you know, always being like, I'm the eldest. I do what I want.
I do whatever I want.
Yeah, exactly. I thought for J-Hope to even say that, I was just like, wow. He was just like, he was working so hard. I felt like he was on the same level with RM this episode. And he was just like, I've made conclusions. Here's my facts. Here's what's going on. Like, and I feel like he didn't really have to defend himself that much because he was just like, it's not me, guys.
Yeah.
It's not me. I wouldn't have worked this hard. It's not me.
Yeah, and he gave like that smile too. Every single time someone accused him,
He's like, no.
he just smiled and he's like, you
Huh.
need to go back and re-look at the facts.
I feel like Jin also got like super crazy paranoid when J-Hope said he was the spy, but then he gave a reason that wasn't the right reason. But then think about it, you're a spy and you have to defend yourself against being a spy. But it's like, I don't know. I thought that was funny. It was just like him proving that thing was wrong, but that didn't really prove that he wasn't the spy.
Yeah. he was trying to derail everyone again, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, just like Suga was too when he was trying to defend himself to all other 6 people.
Yes.
And poor V, he couldn't figure out the book, the puzzle.
And he tried it a lot. And did you notice once they were all like together, somebody finally gave him a pen. Somebody gave him a future device that they didn't give him in the second episode.
Yeah.
And so he like really, and he was working on it so hard. And there was a moment where they showed his face where he looked like he got it. He was like, but then he was like, and it's like he lost it all over again. And I felt so bad for him. And because I feel like he couldn't figure that clue out, people were really suspicious of him. Because they're like, this is the biggest clue you got, and you're telling me you don't know what it means.
Yeah.
Like, why haven't you figured it out? And Suga did a really good job of making him seem like the spy. I felt like that was really to his advantage. He was just like, he doesn't care. He's playing with cats. He's too busy bossing around everyone, making them his servants.
Yeah, like hats off to both Suga and Jin, because they were pretty good spies. I'm like, they really they threw off all of them and us, you know.
100%.
Yeah.
I also love. Oh, I'm sorry. I also loved how RM was like about V. He was just like, the problem is, I mean, he could just be like, he's just like this.
Yeah.
He couldn't decide.
And V was like, you guys know me or something like that. Like, why? And then like Suga turns around and totally like said, we chose you because we know you.
We know you too well.
Yeah, I know you a little bit too well. So that was pretty funny. Yeah. It was
so
really funny. It was so great, like just watching them all hash it out. It was just how they chose, like their thought process of how they chose each person and
passionate they got.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved how Aram was kind of getting like frustrated with production. He was like, this is too vague. He's like, what? I mean, I've made 3 conclusions from this and you're telling me they're all wrong. So this is too vague.
Yeah. And then like, like that clue, like the weren't white clothes, isn't wearing white clothes or something like that. And so all of them like looked at Suga, and then production was like, oh, it stands for like Korean people or something like that. At least that's what the subtitle said. And all of them had like question marks, like,
what?
What? Huh? What do you mean? Like trying to throw us off again? So yeah.
I loved how Suga was like, look, I'm wearing black too. It's like minimal black. It's mostly white. We can agree on that. Come on.
Apologize.
Apologize now. Apologize.
Oh, and JK's like, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, immediately he's like, oh, apologies.
Like a half apology.
Yeah. But some of the clues were very confusing. And like when they explained them at the end, I was like, oh, like, of course. It totally feels like when you know the conclusion of like one of those murder party games, those like ones where you like eat dinner together and all have a character. When you know the conclusion, it's so obvious what the clues mean. But when you don't, they really are very ambiguous. Like they could go a lot of different ways. And I felt like when I read the explanations at the end, I was like, oh, that makes sense. But I could see how the whole time I was like, this doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like especially when they were like, oh, there could be more than 2 spies. So you're like, oh, then there probably is. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, what Hobie, like how he figured it out, like in or he thought he figured it out in the second episode, like there's three thieves, you know.
Oh
And
yeah, in the jail.
yeah, in the jail cell, you know, and so it completely made sense. And I like that, comment that like when they figured out it was only two thieves, Jimin was like, I totally believed you, Hobie, you know, like
I had
we just
goosebumps.
loved you. Yeah.
And yet at the same time, they were right, because production said, you know, they had many allies. Their allies were the guys in jail. So
Yeah.
it was like they weren't wrong about some of it, just
Yeah.
the way it was skewed. While we're talking about the jail, of course, we have to talk about the camera director who got locked in the jail, which
Yes.
was amazing. I loved how concerned everyone was. Everyone's like, we can't just leave him here, right? Is someone coming? Can we call someone? Jin was very concerned. He was like, oh no, what are we gonna do?
Well, maybe because he's the one that might have like locked him in to begin with.
He was doing the key, like just slamming it in.
Yeah.
And I love how he was like, it wasn't me. And V immediately was like, it could have been me. I mean, I could have done it. Like, it's like, no, you know it was him. You're just being nice.
You're just being sweet.
You're just throwing your name in the ring as well. But I feel like, well, Jin was super concerned. Jimin was like, just look around. Just see what's in there and then hand it to me. Just give it to me.
Yeah.
He didn't care at all. He was just like, bye, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, and then he was the very first person too to get to the jail too. So he was like, I'm on this, you know, like we're gonna get this, man.
And I loved how the camera director at one point was like clutching it, and he was like, no, get me out, otherwise I'm not giving this to you.
Yeah, that was funny. Oh man, yeah, I can't. I wonder how long it took them to get him out. I'm pretty sure pretty fast, you know.
Probably pretty fast, but I mean, they were all the way back debating when they got the news. They were like, just so you know, we broke him out. It's okay.
Yeah.
He'll be free tonight, you know. I just thought that was so funny. It was so hilarious, because of course you can already see the camera angle from inside the jail, but you don't really think about what that means, that there's someone in there. I don't think it was until RM's like, but what about him? If this is broken, what about that guy? And then I was like, oh, what about that guy?
Oh man, yeah, but yeah, that whole entire scene was just, I really
Hilarious.
cracked up. Yeah,
Hilarious.
I was like, that was like a oops moment, you know. It's like, oh, and then they kept saying, oh, and J-Hope was like really concerned because he's like, is it okay to leave him there?
Yeah, shouldn't we stay?
Yeah, like oh no, you know, like pretty much like his sentiments were like, I felt that he probably wanted to like cut the game, you know, and get the director out.
Like, time out, let's fix this problem first. He's so like considerate of other people, and that's shown through a lot of times in these episodes. Like, I also thought when they were going around and everyone, RM was like, okay, say who you think the thieves are and why you're not the thief, give your reasons, we'll go all the way around the table. And you know, they skipped V because V was trying to do that puzzle book again.
Yeah,
no success. But when they were all accusing V, and like he didn't get a chance to go, and J-Hope was the one who was like, wait, V hasn't gone, let's give V a chance, like, to defend himself. Like, he didn't need to do that. People were already ready to kill him, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably saved them. That's probably part of why they won, because they didn't vote right then. But
yeah,
he's so considerate of other people. He's always like getting other people's opinions and like looking out for other people. I just feel like he's such a sweetheart, you know.
oh
He
yeah,
really comes through.
oh.
Sorry, that's my Hobie appreciation rant.
Yeah,
Love you.
I love him. Hope you see this one day. We love you, J-Hope.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah, but yeah, 100%. And going back to him killing it though, he did guess it right.
Yeah.
Suga and Jin were his first two that he said right off the bat, and then V, you know, because
right. But he only picked V because he thought there were three. I'm not sure he would have picked him if he had the option. I think everyone was so convinced there were three.
Yeah.
That they felt like they had to pick a third one.
Yeah. So going back to your comment, he totally crushed it, you know. Like, if I were to give an award to the best player, like, it would be definitely Hobie, you know. Like, he was on point on pretty much every episode, you know.
I feel like he's so like fun and like energetic and like he's always quick to laugh and stuff that sometimes you forget that he like is really smart. Like like we give a lot of credit to RM because RM's ridiculously smart,
Yeah,
but Hobie's really smart too. He knows what's going on. He's very aware. Just because he's carefree doesn't mean he doesn't know what's happening.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, and I felt that he was totally overlooked.
Yeah.
Like ex-
Yeah.
except for Jimin. I think Jimin gave him like a lot of cred. Like yeah, because like he would make comments like, oh, he pointed out the glasses. Oh man, he's legend. Yeah,
I think at one point maybe even J Hope said he was like, "Well, I like I'm the ace today. Like
yeah,
it's all working today,"
yeah,
which
yeah,
I loved. I thought it was so cute.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was so. He was super great. I love when RM gets frustrated. Anytime RM gets frustrated, I will watch that. I will watch it all day long because he usually is always like he can make everything line up and put all the pieces together. So when he's like, this doesn't make, I just loved, I know I already said it, but him looking at the production crew like, come on guys, give us another hint. This doesn't make any sense. You know it doesn't make
Great.
sense.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
just loved it so much. It was so funny.
And yeah, and when he gets frustrated, he'll give those facial expressions like ah,
He was just like putting his hands through his hair, like, ah,
Yeah.
why? What's going on? Oh, and I did have a legitimate question. Since Tay wasn't a spy and he didn't hold the army bomb, I think they asked, did he get left behind? Is he stuck in the past?
Oh,
Remember, they were like, oh, all the citizens have to like hold it together to get to come back to 2021. He didn't hold it.
that's
Did they
true.
leave him behind?
Oh, I,
Tear.
I, I know. I'm like, yeah, that's right, huh? But but I think production, maybe it was production that said like all five of you passed
Yeah,
or something like that. So
they passed, but I don't know. I was just worried he didn't make the time jump. I mean, of all the people, he seemed like he could survive back then the best. So maybe it's not a huge deal, but
yeah.
I was worried about him. I was a little worried.
Yes, you are, because
Of
he
course.
is your bias.
I love you. Ooh, and can we talk about the punishment?
Yes, I was gonna go with that. Go to that next. Okay, so well deserved. I'm really glad that they picked JK and V like to do the punishment
The
on the
two
spot.
youngest, if you think about it, and Suga and Jin are the two oldest.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that works out.
Yeah.
Oh, and they were so gentle.
They were so gentle. And honestly, I think I had said I would be worried if JK was doing it for me, just because, like, the man can do. You've seen him work out. You've seen the workout videos. I know you have.
Mhm.
And it's like, I would just be nervous. But he was so sweet and so nice. And Jin was so stressed out. It was so funny. And what about Sugar? Wasn't Sugar like, I can't be hurt for our comeback. Like, I have to make
Yes.
it. Guys, remember, this affects you too. Like, be cool.
Yeah, and he was like a little rascal after he got his punishment. He's like, oh yeah, pretty much like do it harder like on Jin.
Yeah. He was like, oh, that was nothing. Jin can take it.
Yeah.
Pile it on. No worries.
And Suga was like a total like not the Sugar that I mean, maybe he's like that when cameras are off. I don't know.
He was a little instigator.
Yeah.
First he was being the human emoji, and then he was like ramping up the punishment. Like, come on, man.
I know. I was
He
like,
was
poor
extra
Jin.
sassy, I feel like. Extra
Yes, yes, which I totally love 100%.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh man, he's so hilarious. But for Jin though, like when it was his turn, like all the talking, man, and the poem, it's like, just take it.
Those
Just kidding.
I don't know how you pronounce it. Those poems that he loves to do, I feel like they're his like get out of jail card. He's always like, "What if I just do this?" And people are like, "Sure, do it." And then they're like, "No, I'm gonna do
Yeah, this
it."
this time it was like, oh, you could call me older brother,
Yeah,
was it V could call or Jin calls him. Wait.
I think you're right that V could call or that he would call V Hung, right?
Yeah. Which is like
Like,
a big deal in like the culture, right? And
yeah.
so, but I loved it when V's like, nope.
He's like, get down there. It's
Yeah.
happening. Of course, this is the same V who, in that great episode of Run BTS, when Jin wasn't expecting it, kissed him on the cheek just to make him laugh.
Yeah.
So we knew he was going to be gentle. He loves Jin. I mean, he loves them all. He would never hurt them. But
Yeah.
it was hilarious. He was so in character, you really weren't sure what he would do.
Yeah. Could you imagine if he was in character for that? It'd be
Yeah.
like one big slap on the bum. Or it'd be like red for days.
Yes, exactly. I'm sure that's what they were worried about. They were like, ooh.
He's so what's the word? Like unexpected. He's kind of like a wild card. There you go.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised. I was very concerned with the word flogging. So this was much better than I thought it was going to be for everyone involved.
Yes. Yes.
Flogging scares me. I think of like, drug dealers in the Philippines or something, like serious stuff happening. So I was concerned.
Maybe they shouldn't use that word.
Yeah, I kind of wish they translated it to just like spanking. Like,
Yeah.
that seems like a little more lighter. But then I guess it just gives everyone, all the like shippers would just go nuts if they were spanking each other. So
Yeah.
they probably didn't want to like open that door.
Yeah. Yes.
They're like, the internet can't handle it. It's too much.
Yeah. The internet would be broken every Tuesday when the episode would come out.
So much. But I really liked it. I thought these 3 episodes were really enjoyable. They don't usually do 3, there's a lot of 2-parters, but not a lot of 3-parters. But they had so much material, of course they had to. It was so great. I really loved it.
Yeah, it was they completely kept me on my toes for sure, because clearly I'm not good at these things because I guessed everything wrong. So, well, I got 1 out of the 3, but even then I give myself 0%. It's only 2. But they did a really good job. It was very interesting from the beginning to end for me.
And we weren't the only people who loved it, because I've seen so many Instagram reels and YouTube shorts about it. Like, people loved it. I think everyone was really on board, and production worked really hard on this. They always do, but I'm fascinated. Like, how do you become a writer for Run BTS?
Yeah.
Hi guys. I would like to be a writer for Run BTS because it seems fun.
Yeah. Writer, or I'll be an extra if you guys need one.
They always need one, right? Although I would be worried, like, you don't want to end up being the cameraman chasing JK around, obviously.
That's true. But that's okay. I CrossFit. So
that's true. You could actually do it.
I could catch up with him, though my cardio really sucks right now, but that's okay. Working on it.
That's right. The camera director who was locked in the jail. I remember one of the things Jin said was, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry you had to follow me around all day and now this is happening. I think he was the guy who followed him around. He was just, that's why he was so concerned about him. He's like, that's my camera guy. What's going on? I'm worried about him.
Yeah.
I need to help him. Get him out of there.
Yes.
Yes, these were great. I can't wait for more. I didn't know when I first started watching the show how much I would love it. And I really, really love it. And I have to say, I hate this pandemic, but I loved quarantine because there was no other time I was going to have enough time to watch all of Run BTS, which is what I did. So thank you for my, shelter in place order. It really helped me focus my efforts on Run BTS.
Oh.
What a terrible thing, but a great outcome. So
yeah, seriously, like I'm going through Run BTS too, so it's nice because like you get to know more. They're beyond musicians, right? So it's kind of like, it's really nice because you get to see more of their personalities, how they interact with each other, and just like fun, lighthearted games too that they play. It's like so much fun.
I love how much you feel like you get to know them. It's like it's scripted, yes, but there's enough like natural reactions. Like it feels like, it's an outline of what they're gonna do, and they fill in all the parts with the funny stuff and the good stuff of them.
Yeah.
I like how there's a lot of times I feel like in different episodes where Sugar will be like, if someone's not doing enough, he's like, "You're not doing enough. This isn't gonna be funny. Come on, get it together. This isn't what the people expect."
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, they're pushing themselves a little bit, but they're still being true to who they are. So I agree
Yeah.
with you. I
Yeah.
feel like you get to know them a lot more on a personal level, and it's really, really smart. And every band should have their own variety show.
Right? Seriously, could you imagine if like Lady Gaga has like her own like little monsters,
Oh my
like
gosh. It'd be
yeah,
amazing.
like her show, and yeah, that would be totally amazing. Like this is
Yeah.
like a really good way to to create that fan base and for them to like get to know you more, like the artist more, and it's fun.
You feel so personally invested in them. And, I feel like a lot of Army, they support so hard because they feel like they know them and like the guys know us.
Yeah.
It's weird how it feels reciprocal, even though we're not in the variety show.
Yeah.
But it feels like you've spent so much time with them that they get it, that they get you and you get them, which is
Yeah.
really cool. I
Yeah.
don't know. I just love it. It's such a good concept. It's smart marketing.
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
yeah, it's good business sense. Come on, guys. We need more of these. These are good. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
do a shameless plug right here. I also watch Tomorrow by Together's variety show To Do, and I love it. And it starts off similar to BTS, but then really changes and evolves once they figure out what the dynamic of that band is. But again, same thing. I fell in love with all the guys through that show. That show really got me. I already like their music, but that show made me love them. You know?
Okay, and now that we're talking about quickly talking about Tomorrow About Together, you gotta show off your earrings.
Oh yeah, yeah, guys. I don't know. Can you see these? Kind of hard to see, but their new comeback single, "Lover Loser." No, Loser Lover. Wow, don't get me in trouble. I made little earrings. These say Lover, and they've got a little heart, and then I have a matching pair that say Loser with a little heart. Because I really love TxT, and if you're not into them, definitely give them a chance. They're much more rocky and they're just fun. They're really discovering who they are right now, and it's a weird time. So I feel like even though you might have known who you were before all this started, I feel like we're all kind of rediscovering who we are
Oh
now.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's like a very good time to get into like a bunch of people who are like, who am I? Is this who I am? I'm like trying on different outfits and seeing what sticks, because I feel like I'm doing that again right now,
Yeah.
and I just love it. So shameless plug, shameless plug.
And
Tomorrow by Together, the Chaos chapter, Fight or Escape thing.
yes, and you know what? And if you guys didn't know already, which I'm sure the majority of you guys know, they're from the same label. So they are big supporters of BTS.
They love them. They're super fans. They're mega
Yeah,
fans. They're Army.
they're just like us. Yeah, they're just like us, y'all.
They're Army with their own idol contracts. So
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, because you mentioned like was it Kai that wore the butter pin on his?
yes, in their new video, Huening Kai is wearing one of the butter like enamel pins on his little hat when he's in the diner working, which is super
Yeah,
super cute. They have little things like that you you wouldn't notice if you didn't know both bands, but
right.
they're I love how supportive they are, and BTS is super supportive of them. Like they really treat them as like their younger brothers who, they're coming up with, and it seems like they really mentor them, which is like so cute. Aw.
And I will say though, there is like you guys should YouTube it, like search it. It's the one of the what's it called? The Bangtan Bomb like episodes where J Hope was it J Hope and V?
Yeah,
J Hope and V, they were listening to a TXT song, Cat and Dog, and they were so into it.
they're so
So
into it. And J-Hope, I remember he was just like, "Ooh, this groove. Ooh,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah." And then they
They're
like by the
so
end they were
supportive.
both singing the chorus and like jumping around like
Yeah, exactly. And then like RM wrote or he partially wrote, right? Like the love song.
Yep.
So that's pretty awesome too, you
Yeah,
know.
0
So
by 1, the love song, which is the title track on Chaos Chapter Freeze. Yeah, RM wrote part of that, which is awesome. And just like BTS, they also help write some of their songs. They produce or they write bits. It's very collaborative. It feels like Big Hit is must be such a great label to be on because it seems like the artists get to contribute a lot. They're
yeah,
not just given songs, they're given something that then they get to reimagine that fits them and fits their world, which is so cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's fantastic. I
I love it. I love it.
All right, you guys. So we're pretty much all wrapped up, right, for Run BTS episode 147. I think we given all of our thoughts and opinions about that episode. I will chime in really quickly about V's one comment that I 100% agree about. Well, not just one. I agree with him like all the time. But I don't know why I just said that. But but I love how he was very defensive about loving cats and animals. Am I not allowed to love animals? Yes, you love whatever you want. So yeah, so I forgot to mention about that because I love animals too. We both do. So
Yeah.
all right. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. And then we'll see you guys next week. So we are
LaChiMoLaLa.
We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.